A common misconception of history, religion and early human activity is colonized by the Europeans who appropriated various countries' accomplishments as their own creation and brought them to Western society. We are set out to believe a set of rules and imaginative geographical history where white supremacy is valued more than multiculturalism. Through this video I will be comparing interpretations of Buddhist sculptures from South Asia to Christianity stories from North America. The idea of religion reminds me of the way the Indus used their seals as a form of control and keeping an entire group of people believing the same thing in a communistic way.
As you can see, these are scenes of two women giving birth. The one on the left is Queen Maya giving birth to the new Buddha, and on the right we have the common understanding of the Virgin Mary giving birth to Jesus Christ. These stories relate through a mystical pregnancy. Queen Maya had a dream of an elephant and was soon to give birth to a child. A similar story is given to the Virgin Mary. I believe that in both religion and spirituality there is a sort of misconception that one believes in a god and the other doesn't. To my understanding, that is quite the opposite. These are stories that are made to be taken in a metaphorical way. But for some reason, if you believe in another form of spirituality besides the typical Christianity, then that is then viewed as atheism or satanic. As ridiculous as that sounds, many of Christians believe this binary idea. In Buddhism, everyone has the power to enlighten themselves. There is no right or wrong way to be enlightened, as long as one dedicates themselves to their progress. In Christianity, there is only one powerful being who is Christ, and only he or she. They have the power to heal all. You answer to them and only them. On the left the story is told that when Queen Maya was giving birth, angels came down, hence the beings around her, and on the right similarly there are angels around the Virgin Mary. Buddhists have a certain position for meditation the way Christians do for praying. The seated Vairocana is something meditators uses as a technique for mindful breathing with a straight posture, hands on the knees and taking and accepting the good and the bad. Buddhists don't necessarily use this position to pray to a god, but they use it to release the tension between the mind and the body. While in Christianity, they're kneeling to pray to God for forgiveness, for peace or for thanks. Though one is used more often in Western culture, they still have great spiritual meanings. We don't know if the Buddhist is male or female, so we will use a neutral pronoun like they. The Buddhist has a halo around their head, which means there is some sort of spiritual or enlightenment going on. Comparing it to the Jesus photo that has the same halo around his head, their hands are in a similar position, the left hand relaxed and the right hand slightly up, almost as if they're giving approval or appointing someone or something. They're both in robes, which may be a symbol of empowerment or just the clothing they wore back then. The one difference I see is that the painting on the right of Jesus Christ has a heart with thorns around it, but not the Buddha. For them there is a puffed chest. Given the information on the previous slide, this can symbolically meaningful. Though the Buddha doesn't wear their heart on their chest doesn't mean they don't take in troubles of the world. The bell has 4 squares along the sides. According to the Japanese translation on the Asian Art Museum is that birth and death are inevitable, situations are not fixed, that bodhisattva is a process that we have to be accepting of, we are equal in liberation. It's used in a ritual that passes through those who participate. For Christianity, the church bells are used as a communication method between religions. These here have similar meaning to them. They are cleanser of the spirit. Buddhists use these to burn incense for ceremonies while sitting in meditation. From my experience growing up in a Christian household, my parents would take my siblings and I to church, and the priest would burn sage inside the censer to rid the body and spirit of the evil outside the church, that whatever evil spirits come with you to church are cleansed away with this burning of sage.
In conclusion, The way we're educated about religion and other aspects of early human involvement, Western culture teaches one side of history. This form of control is embedded in young and older people across the world. We're taught one thing, and once we realize there are other perspectives than the one we're used to, it becomes unclear of what is true.